You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof of your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you if you ever have any home or finance related questions. I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We got a great broadcast lined up for you today. We're going to demonstrate. We're going to show you. I've got the information right on our screens for those of you that are watching us on the socials. If you're on ABC News and Talk on the AM 1490 KMET video feed, you're going to see it there as well. But how do you refinance a 4% mortgage into another 4% mortgage, cut 10 years off your term, and keep your cash flow the same? Fascinating discussion. Now, you may have a lower mortgage and it works just the same. So we're going to talk to you about that today. But before we get to that, let's take a look and see what we're celebrating today, because it's Ron Siegel Radio. We celebrate every day here. National Curl Crush Day. Okay.
It is what it is.
Everything you do is right day. That's today. National Freedom of Information Day, Panda Day, World Social Work Day, and I don't know about this one. I know my wife will like it. Today's National Artichoke Hearts Day. So there's our celebrations of the day. Let's see, should we be celebrating the financial markets? Well, the Dow Jones is down 130 points. Ow! S&P 500 down 3.3. The NASDAQ, though, it's up 119 points. Oil down 89 cents a barrel. What does that mean for you? Let's take a look. Yeah, we're going to pay $2.55 a gallon for gasoline. Can't do it in Calizuela. How about $3.55 a gallon? That would be Hawaii, not in Calizuela. $3.84.5, $3.85 a gallon. In Calizuela, $2.86 a gallon is the national average, $1 a gallon cheaper than what we're paying in the formerly Golden State. Watching also the U.S. 10-year Treasury, still holding tight right there at a 1.6 yield. So we're watching that. Let's see what's going on. What else is going on here? What Chuck Schumer talking about the giveaway plan. Fascinating when you're watching what's going on in the world right now, because the giveaways are basically what's fueling our economy. And how do I know that? Well, we got a very, very tame retail sales report this morning. Yet last month we had a good retail sales. Why? Well, because that was right after the last giveaway, $600 per person. And I know that there are some people that really need it. I get it. And we need to have that safety net for some people. But the idea here, giving all these giveaways, right? The state of New York getting $50 billion. Illinois getting enough of your tax dollars, right? Because Calizuela, we're the largest state by population in the union. So your tax dollars are going to give away to people in Illinois. Are you happy about that? That's what you voted for, right? So it's just a giveaway. Let's take from Calizuelans and give it to people in Chicago or New York, or I think it's was it Connecticut that has $1 billion shortfall in their budget, so they gave them $16 billion. Right? There's no logic here. Unbelievable. Did any of our students get any bailout on this program? Yeah, I know that they're not making them pay money, but hey, why not? And here's my recommendation, man. I'm just a simple guy, right? It's the federal government. They're giving away billions to everybody. I mean, if you can breathe, you get $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Why not just eliminate the interest on all federal student loan debt and reinstate the possibility of discharging student loan debt in bankruptcy? That'll force the colleges to get real about where the money, what they're giving out these loans, right? They won't give loans just to everybody because now they may not get paid. And the people that did get involved in the student loans right up to this point makes it a lot easier for them to pay those off if there's no interest. Where's the interest going? It's going back to the federal government, who's going to take it back from them in another hand. I mean, right? So I was sharing with you how the retail sales came out tame. Next month, retail sales will be good again because we got another bailout. We got another handout of money. Some people are spending it, and other people are just putting it into the stock market so the rich get richer. Right? That's what's happening with the money. But nobody wants to talk about it that way. You only hear that on Ron Siegel Radio because the media and the politicians make it sound like it's good for you. Right? It's good for you to take and get $1,400 a person and a $5,700 bill. Now, I'm a simple guy. Anybody that's listening to Ron Siegel Radio right now, if you want, I'll give you $1,400 with my left hand, and you give me $5,700 into my right hand. I'll do it all day long. And hey, the media, the politicians, they'll say you're going to like it, right? That's what they're doing, right? Give you $1,400, but I'm going to take $5,700, and you'll like it. And most people do. It's just because they don't look at it the right way. They're not looking at it as to how it's affecting you. I just share that with you because that's really what's happening. What else is going on in the world today right now? Let's take a look and see what we've got going on. Let's look at the right rundown. They're looking right now. The idea here, the largest tax in U.S. history is coming up. Largest tax, U.S. history, coming up. Unbelievable how we're watching that one for you as well. I gotta love it when people start calling in the middle of the radio show. But that's what's on the horizon is this massive tax, right? They're going to call it an infrastructure bill. But do you remember during the Obama administration when they said, we're only going to tax the rich? And your income did not go up? Think about it, because they're going to try the same playbook again with the anticipation that you're not going to catch them this time like you didn't last time. They're going to fool you, right? So we're going to tax the rich, but the rich know how to beat the system. So it trickles down to you, right? The rich are not going to the business owner is not going to take a pay cut, guys. What's going to end up happening is going to cut your hours, right? So he can continue his lifestyle. He's going to send the job overseas. He's going to buy some more automation and lay you off, right? That's what happens. But the media makes it sound so good that we're going to tax the rich. Nancy Pelosi in the news, blaming the flood of illegal immigrants into the U.S. on the prior administration. Why did it not happen during their administration? Why did it start happening right after the inauguration? Why are the kids being sent back to Mexico now when President Biden said, you can come here if you can live long enough to make it across the Mexican deserts, last through the cartels, the sex trafficking, But Nancy Pelosi, she doesn't want to tell you the truth. She never will. Crime across America's largest cities surging because the lawmakers are not prosecuting the guilty. Hello, Los Angeles. Right, so we've got, my opinion, George Soros, number one terrorist in the world. Right, he finances these districts' attorney to help them where they're going to let people out and not have, it's no bail. And they say, well, that's against the poorer people. Well, if you didn't cause the crime, does it matter what your economic background is? Don't worry about what the rich guys are doing because they're going to go to jail if they're guilty. You're going to go to jail if you're guilty. They're going to get off if they're not guilty. You're going to get off if you did nothing wrong. Don't do anything wrong. Amazing. Hey, watch out for the virus right now. How can Florida and California have nearly the same number of COVID deaths when the government took such different approaches to the shutdown? Yeah, Venezuela trying to control everything you do. Florida, you make your own decisions. Yet per capita, same death rate. Which way is better? Because you're going broke. They're not going broke in Florida. I just heard a report this morning. Some of the hotels are operating at an 80% occupancy right now. Go over toward Disneyland and see if there's an 8% occupancy. I don't know what the number is, but I'm sure it's mighty, mighty small. Unbelievable. Hey, spring break is in Miami Beach. Yeah, there's some people getting arrested over there. Is that good or bad? European countries suspend their use of the AstraZeneca vaccine due to reports of patients developing blood clots. Did we tell you that there wasn't enough knowledge on these different vaccines? We've been watching it, but something, they rush it to market. There's a reason why some of them have taken years and years and maybe even decades to come to market. Hey, don't forget about the Ron Siegel Radio in association with Geneva Financial and Realty Pro 100. You want an Apple Watch? Get into the bracket competition. Yeah, March Madness is upon us. Join the brackets, rsrnpool.com. rsrnpool.com. Ron Siegel Radio Network, rsrnpool.com. Or text RSRNpool to 79564. Get into the bracket, cost you $10. That also puts you in the raffle for the Apple Watch. And for the cause, 10% of the proceeds are going to go to the 1199 Foundation. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we are going to chat about how to accomplish wealth with a refinance from a 4% loan to a new 4% loan, how to make a winning offer on a home, all that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestatewithron.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradiowithron.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs. Hey, how about consolidating your debt? That's a good thought. Save you some money. We're going to chat about that in depth in the broadcast today. Dow Jones now down 152 points. The NASDAQ is up 89 points. S&P 500 up 3.70. 10-year Treasuries flat. Mortgage-backed securities down a little bit. Why? That's really the question. Why is all of this happening? That's what you'd listen to Ron Siegel Radio for. Well, some of the information we've given you earlier in the broadcast, were you listening? Maybe you missed it. You know, I get it. Sometimes people have other things to do. Retail sales decreased by 3% in February, which was lower than the expected 0.5% loss. Last month's prior figure was revised higher by 2.3% to a gain of 7.6%. The control group, which strips out autos, gas, building materials, decreased by 3.5%, which was lower than expectations of a 1.6% loss. Prior figure was revised higher by 2.8% to a gain of 8.9%. Watching what else is causing that. The National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index decreased by 2 points from last month's revised figure of 84 to 82 in March. Current sales decreased by 3 points to 87. Sales expectations increased by 3 points to 83. And buyer traffic remained flat at 72. What else is causing all of this to go on? Well, you got a 10-year or 20-year notes are being auctioned today. So we're going to see what happens with that. That is part of the numbers. I told you about the National Association of Home Builders. Tomorrow morning, the MBA is going to release their mortgage application data for last week. So we're going to be watching that one for you. It's going to be a little bit volatile. Again, today's report, tomorrow's report is going to measure in the week of March 8th. So we're going to watch that for you. And we'll also have the Federal Reserve. We're going to be watching what they have to say. They start their meeting today. Tomorrow, they report on what happened. But this is what we're going to chat about today. And I've got to give you a little bit of background on this so that you can really get the whole concept. So frequently, we talk to people with this, especially in various times. Tax time is a big time for this. Tax time is a big time when people are kind of looking at their finances and they start saying, okay, what's going on? How can we help people? They talk to their CPAs, their financial planners, and they start saying, okay, maybe we need to start looking at what's going on in our world. What's going on in our world? And I've talked to you many times that there is absolutely a zero rate of return on home equity. And that is always the case. Zero rate of return. Now, I cannot compete with the idea that there are some people who thought. But here's the concept. What's the strategy to make that happen? What is the strategy? Because I tell you all the time, strategy beats rate always. But do you know how to employ it? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually walk you through, start to finish, a home loan strategy where you can actually take a 4% mortgage. And this is a live case of one of the private clients. They actually took a 4% mortgage, refinanced it into a new 4% mortgage. They paid off a lot of debt. They kept their debt service, the amount of cash going out every month. They kept it flat. It never, ever changed, the amount of outflow for the month. But by being strategic, they actually cut off about 10 years off their mortgage payment time. So let's take a look at some of the data that's going to hold the same. And you're going to see that this property, it's a basic Southern California property, right? We've told you before, Orange County, California, median home price, $829,000. This home, $805,000. It's the same. And it's going to be the same all the way across. We use the same property. We're going to have, you can see up along the top though, there's 3 different strategies. One of them is just to pay off all the debts, right? It's easy. What if we pay off all the debts and pay down the mortgage faster? And what if we pay all the debts and reinvest that money somewhere else? And I'm not an investment advisor, so I'm not going to tell you where to invest it. I'm just going to tell you that I can put you in touch with the right people to do that. But hey, you know something? We got this property, and currently they're sitting on an $805,000 property. Their current loan amount is $526,000, 4% interest rate. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, all in, $4,565.40. And you'll notice that throughout every strategy, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or the AM 1490 ABC News and Talk video stream, or if you want, you can just go to www.RSR, Ron Siegel Radio, rapidpayoff.com. RSR, rapidpayoff.com. No spaces. RSR, rapidpayoff.com. You can actually see the entire strategy. But you see where we've got a $4,565 payment. That's what's being spent right now. Right? So that's their current payment, 4%. Now, what we're doing here is we're going to show this family how they can take and liberate some cash. And when they liberate the cash, and I'm going to show you exactly what the debts are that they're paying off, they end up saving $941.78 every single month. $941.78 by pulling some money out of the property, paying off the mortgage, right? So it's pretty simple. And there's various ways we're going to take and show you exactly what we're doing with that $941.78 in 3 different strategies. 3 different strategies. And we're going to also show you what's most important is tens of thousands. It might even be, I haven't looked, $100,000 in savings. I'm not sure exactly what the total savings are. But here's what we did. This particular family, and I'm scrolling down on the screen right now, was paying off all kinds of debts here. I don't know if I've even got them, but they well, let's see. We've got to be able to find the exact debts that they paid off. So we want to find what's included, right? That's the key thing, is what debts are they including in their payoff? They paid off everything. So maybe I don't have the exact breakdown, but we can get that for you. Yours is going to be different anyway, right? So what this family did was they had credit card debt that was averaged out at weighted average 9.62%. What are you paying on your credit cards? They had $56,000 between credit card debt and some personal loans and other loans and whatnot. All of these things rolled in, averaged 9.62%, $56,000. So we took that $526,000 that they balance on their original mortgage. We rolled that into a new mortgage, including all the costs. So basically, they come out of pocket with very little, if anything, any money. And the new mortgage is $582,572.95. That's going to be a key number for you to watch, because that's going to be where the entire strategy is. Under their current situation, they're looking at 26 years, 9 months to get everything paid off. 26 years, 9 months. Now, I told you we're taking out a new 30-year loan, right? So how is that going to save them money? How is that saving them money? Well, today, they're paying $4,565.40. We talked about that. And we're going to spend that same money tomorrow after we do this entire strategy. But if we just take that money and just put it away, we didn't do anything strategic. We just paid off all that debt. The long-term total interest on all that debt, $295,000. $295,000. Do you want to spend that much money? We're going to talk about it. We're going to show you, because you're going to end up getting to a zero balance at some point on your credit card debt, right? And we're going to get you to paying off that home loan. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get all the way there, and we're going to give you the entire demonstration right here on Ron Siegel Radio. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there is an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. score.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest 79564. Find that dream home. Increasing wealth, that's what we're always looking to do. What is the number one financial benefit of home ownership? There are many financial and non-financial benefits of home ownership, and the greatest financial one is wealth creation. Home ownership has always been the first rung on the ladder that leads to forming household wealth. As Freddie Mac explains, quote, home ownership has cemented its role as part of the American dream, providing families with a place that is their own and an avenue for building wealth over time. This quote-unquote wealth is built in large part through the creation of equity. Building equity through your monthly principal payments and appreciation is a critical part of home ownership that can help you create financial stability, unquote. Odetta Kushi, Deputy Chief Economist at First American, also notes, quote, the wealth-building power of home ownership shows that home is not only where your heart is, but also where your wealth is. For the majority of households that transition into home ownership, the most recent data reinforces that housing is one of the biggest positive drivers of wealth creation, unquote. Last week, CoreLogic released their latest Homeowner Equity Insights report, which reveals the surge in wealth created over the last 12 months through increased home equity. The report makes 5 key points. Number one, roughly 38% of all homes are mortgage-free. Number two, the average equity gain of mortgaged homes in the last year, national number, $26,300. The current average equity of mortgaged homes is greater than $200,000. There was a 16.9% increase in total homeowner equity. And number 5, total homeowner equity reached over $1.5 trillion. So if you are watching us on Ron Siegel Radio, any of our socials, or the KMET ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a screen right now that shows equity increasing throughout the country. Calizuela, $55,000, one of the highest equity increases in the nation. $55,000 in Calizuela. Increasing equity is giving homeowners the power to better manage the challenges of the pandemic, especially for those spending more time at home. In the report, Frank Nothaf, chief economist at CoreLogic, explains, quote, this equity growth has enabled many families to finance home remodeling, such as adding an office or a study, further contributing to last year's record level in home improvement spending, unquote. The financial advantage homeowners have has not gone unnoticed in the same report. Frank Martell, president and CEO of CoreLogic, states, quote, this growing bank of personal wealth that home ownership affords was noticed by many, but in particular for first-time buyers who want a piece of the cake. Increasing wealth benefits more than just homeowners. Last year, the Rosen Consulting Group released a report outlining the benefits of home ownership. In that report, they explained what an increase in net worth, which they call the wealth effect, means to the economy. It's kind of long, so I'm going to give you the basis of it. Quote, in economic literature, the wealth effect is a term used to describe the fact that individuals have a tendency to increase their spending habits when their actual or perceived wealth increases. For homeowners, the latent savings achieved by building equity in their home and the growth in home values over time both contribute to increased net worth. Through the wealth effect, this in turn translates to households having a greater ability and willingness to spend money across a wide range of other types of goods and services that spur business activity and provide a positive multiplier effect that creates jobs and income throughout the economy. The bottom line. Home ownership builds wealth through equity, and this creates a positive impact for homeowners. And I've shared this with you before. It's nothing new. If you are a listener to Ron Siegel Radio, there are lots of ways to build that wealth. Home equity is sitting there. It's waiting to do something. All you need to do is put it to work. And that's what we're talking about this morning on our broadcast, is how we do that. How do we go about putting this to work and getting maybe a little bit of a more enjoyable life? Is that fair to say it that way? I think that it probably is. Just because our focus on Ron Siegel Radio is educating you. Right? There's probably, a massive percentage of the people that we talk to on a regular basis are never ever going to be clients of Ron Siegel Radio. Hey, and that's fine. I don't care. Right? We want to help as many people as want our help. So we're here to educate you so you can do it the way that's best for you. So we're going to continue our journey on how we can take a 4% mortgage, refinance it into a new 4% mortgage, and cut down the time it takes to pay that off and enjoy life maybe a little bit more. So we went over and we shared you that with the last segment. We went through and we discussed the foundation of what we're looking at. We talked about the home price and the home value and the payments of what we're going to do. Right now, and we talked about what happens if we just put that money aside. Right? All we do is just take the money and we're saving $941 a month. We can just stick it in the mattress, stick it in savings. We're not going to get much in the way of money or return on investment in savings. But now what we want to do is we want to check, and what if we take all that money that we're saving, right? Because we refinanced it, we refinanced the loan, we took some cash out, we paid off all of our debts, right? And now what we want to know is strategy, right? Because you know it. I'm going to tell you because I say it every day. Strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. Did I say strategy beats rate always? But let's take a look and see how this works now when we start strategizing. So we have the same scenario, right? 90.37% of our household debt was our mortgage. 9.62% was credit cards. $582,000 is the total of all debts. Under just doing nothing, we're going to pay off that mortgage in 26 years, 9 months, doing absolutely nothing. But what happens if we take that $941 that I told you we're going to save by paying off all the debts? We had payments on all those, right? So we're saving $941 in payments, and we put that all towards the mortgage. Well, that 26-year mortgage, if you're watching again on RonSiegelRadio.tv, socials, ABC News and Talk video feed, you're seeing that mortgage, 26 years, 9 months to pay it off. Under the new strategy, 18 years, 7 months. 18 years, 7 months. And take a look. Under the old strategy, you were going to pay $286,000 in interest. New strategy, $233,000 in interest. That's about $53,000 saved. What are you going to do with that $53,000? Anything you want. Right? We're going to show you what to do with that. But here we go. We're taking a look at let's look at what happens after 15 years. So 15 years, we're looking at it. We've got a good portion of our home is paid off, right? We paid off all the credit card debt. But now let's take a look and see where our strategy is taking us, because our net worth, $658,000, and our long-term total interest on all the debts, $233,000. Take a look at that net worth. That's a biggie right there. Now let's quickly go over it. I'm going to look, because in the next segment, I'm going to bring it all home for you. What happens if we take that $941 and give it to a great financial planner, Stephen Sakeley? What happens if we do that? And give it to maybe Todd Halterman, Christopher Bissonette, any of those guys, right? So here we're looking at the same scenario. We're paying off in 26 years, 9 months, the same that we talked about before, right? If we do nothing, 26 years, 9 months. Under this strategy, we're paying off in 17 years, 9 months. Savings, got him going. Long-term strategy, still making lots of money, right? Because now we've got our long-term total interest. It's a little more here, but so is our net worth. Ron, how do you spend more in interest and have your net worth higher? How does that work? We're going to talk about that part of it when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We've got a featured home brought to you by my favorite lender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, at Ron Siegel. No longer on Twitter, at Ron Siegel. But if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street, our house. In the middle of
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL-BRE number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Got a great property to share with you today. I just have to find the property. Our friend Krista Lombardi has this property. Let's see if we can get it up on the screen for you to share with you. The beauty of this property, that got to be with Krista, you know that it's going to be something that's probably not going to last for very long. So you may want to take a look. 31418 Corte Tunas. It's in Temecula. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms. Relax in bed in your Grandmaster suite. Sip coffee. Enjoy lovely views, complete with the occasional hot air balloon with your private master suite. You might be able to see that hot air. You don't get the hot air balloon, but you might have a view of that occasional hot air balloon with your master balcony, private master balcony. Home is completely updated. Features a brand new pool, hot tub, and fire pit that was put in 2016. Absolutely stunning and designed by hand, not to mention that the solar is owned, not leased, and it's paid off. Purchase price, $639,000. Let's look at some financing. 5% down, you're looking at $27-26 a month. 20% down, $22-25 a month. Strategically, 25% down, you're looking at $19.88 a month for those of you that are keeping score. We've got an APR of 3.865, 3.311, 3.098, and MLS 217037. Got to get that stuff in for all of the compliance people. Otherwise, they get mad at us. Want more information on this property? Again, 31418 Corte Tunas in Temecula. Krista Lombardi is the agent. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with Krista. Great agent down in Southern California. Let's continue our journey. We've been chatting this morning about how you can take that 4% mortgage, restructure it into a new 4% mortgage, and save money on your household debt service. How does that work? Well, we've been showing you all that. We've shown you a few different scenarios here. And as I share with you all the time, strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. So I'm showing you 4%. Do you think you can get a better rate than 4%? Probably. There are options. There are strategies to do that. So what we've shared with you so far, we're going to get into some real fun stuff. Monthly payment, as I showed with you. Currently, if you stay where you are, there's no change. If you restructure and do as I'm saying with you, paying off all the debts, one way, you're going to save $941.78. You're going to save $941.78 the second way. But what are you going to do with the money? I'm showing you. The third way, saving $941.78. What are you going to do with that money? I'm showing you. So the savings over 60 months, when you pay off all the debts, $4,228. That's 5 years, right? $4,228 over 5 years. When you're going and paying them off with one strategy over 5 years, you're saving $10,000 over 5 years. And the other strategy saves you $4,200 over 5 years. That's why you have to look at multiple strategies. Because which is the right one for you? I don't know. Why don't I know? I can give you the information. Are you staying in your house less than 5 years? Are you staying in your house 5 years? What do you do? Happens if you're staying in your house? I want to stay there forever, Ron. Well, what is that going to do for you over 15 years? Right? So again, if you stay there 15 years, now, we didn't put any appreciation into this, right? Because that would be the same on all. It just makes the numbers get big, but it doesn't change anything because your property, regardless of how much you owe on it, is still going to be worth the same amount. It's going to appreciate identical, whether you owe a lot or owe nothing. So that's why I don't show you that number in here. I just say, what if the properties do not appreciate over the next 15 years? Hasn't happened before, but it could. So you're going to have equity after 15 years, $505,761 in equity. Well, if you pay it all off, you're going to have $598,215 in equity. If you just take and put that money, take the savings, you put it into your savings account. It's kind of like a mattress money, right? So you're putting into your savings account. What kind of interest are you getting on your savings account? Next to nothing. But over 15 years of saving that $941.78 and putting it into a savings account, well, you're still doing better than if you just keep your mortgage where you are, right? So your net worth after 15 years is $598,000. What happens if we put all that money and just take that $941.78 and pay down the mortgage every month? We're spending that right now, so why can't we spend it the same for the next 15 years? Well, it's going to make our net worth $658,000. That's $153,000 better than doing nothing. $153,000 better than doing nothing. Now, remember I said to you I didn't know which way is best for you? Because if you go with a 5-year time horizon, you're better off just paying that extra money right toward the mortgage. That's going to be your best benefit. But when we change our strategy and we say, okay, we've got a 15-year time horizon, what happens then? Well, now we've got a $678,000 net worth. That is, in doing quick math, $173,000 better than doing nothing. $173,000 better than doing nothing over the next 15 years. And yeah, you don't have to do a whole lot to get there. You just have to call 800-306-1990 to see how this strategy works. Because this is a generic strategy. This is not your strategy. This is just a generic strategy to find out what will this look like for your family. That's what's most important, is what is it going to look like for your family? Right? That's all. And every strategy is a little bit different. You may or may not have as many debts as this family had, but take a look at what's happened after all this time. And how did we get to these numbers, right? That's the important thing. We took the money, that $941.78 in the third strategy, where we're paying down all debts and reinvesting that monthly cash flow. All I put in there was a 5% rate of return. Now, I can show you certain insurance policies that have been over the last 30 years got an 8% rate of return. And I know my friend Stephen Stakely can show you other strategies that'll do even better than that. But here's the concept. Over all that time, you've developed a balance of $251,000. $251,000. Now, think about that, because what are your options? At that point, you can simply take that $251,000 because your loan balance at the end of that 15 years is $378. Pay it down if you want to. I don't recommend it, but you could. It's your money. You can do whatever you want, right? So then you can only have $127,000 left on your mortgage, right? And then you're done with it. These are all the options that come your way when you're working with a home loan strategist. Call Quicken and ask them what this looks like on your behalf. Call the big bank, the Stagecoach, and ask them how to do these numbers on your behalf. No, they don't know how to do them, right? Because this is what a home loan strategist does. Anybody can be a mortgage broker, right? But a home loan strategy, that's just a little bit different. That's why you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. And that's why I ask you to come back here every day. But also, before we go, I want to remind you about our challenge, $10 raffle for an Apple Watch. You may also win the March Madness bracket. So that's part of our whole program. rsrnpool.com, rsrnpool.com. Go and check that out. And as always, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Let's go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against.